Hi, I'm Eric Hayden. ProComp Suspension made a name in this industry by building some of the best engineered and best-selling lift kits for Toyota IFS trucks back in the early 90s. As any Toyota enthusiast knows, the new Toyota trucks and SUVs keep getting a little better every year. Well, just like Toyota, ProComp Suspension is constantly improving their suspension lift products and is proud to offer the best performing, best fitting, and the most durable suspension system for the new Toyota FJ Cruiser. And even though the grille of this new FJ Cruiser bears some resemblance to the FJ Land Cruiser introduced back in the 60s, there aren't any bone-jarring leaf springs to be found on this bad boy. So why don't we hoist this thing in the air and have a look at the components that give this cruiser its aggressive new look and impressive ride quality. The first things you'll notice are these rock-solid one-piece cross members formed from laser-cut 3/16 steel. Now these cross members, along with these sturdy differential brackets, reposition the lower control arms and the differential to allow the full range of suspension travel without putting the CV axles or ball joints in a bind. And they help give this vehicle 6 inches of lift. Just a couple of other important features about these cross members. A little goes a long way here, because this tab and mount bolt portion provide added strength to eliminate flex or movement under extreme torque or braking loads. The FJ and Tacoma have a solid beam between the frame rails that needs to be cut in order to make room for the differential. Now, cutting sections of material from the factory frame may seem a little spooky, but cutting this FJ or Tacoma is really no different than the unbolting and cutting required on a Dodge, Ford, or GM half-ton. And to ensure that this crossmember adds strength to the overall structure, this tab provides a place to anchor 3 additional mounting bolts into the bottom of the factory beam. As if all this reinforcement wasn't enough, these compression struts provide additional support for when things get really severe. Now that the control arms and the front differential have been properly relocated, new spindles or steering knuckles are made with a longer neck to reach the upper control arms that remain in their factory location. Computer design and real-world testing yield the best possible components right here. This new FJ has vehicle stability control, so along with the normal design parameters, it was critical that ProComp get the tie rod attachment points right on to maintain proper function of the VSC system. This also allows the steering rack to remain in the factory location for ease of installation. In order to maintain proper steering geometry and avoid increasing the front track width, these new knuckles do make 18-inch diameter or larger rims mandatory. Now I know you hardcore off-roaders are thinking 18-inch wheels are for the street crowd, but actually the 35-inch tall tires that now fit on this rig have more sidewall than say a 32-inch tire on a 16-inch diameter rim. Just a note on tire selection here. Since some tires have a more aggressive sidewall, ProComp Suspension has revised the sway bar mounts and steering stops to provide proper clearance for tires like these ProComp X-Terrains. If you have brackets like these, contact your ProComp Suspension dealer for the new hardware. While we've been looking at all this bulletproof hardware up front, I'm sure you noticed these trick-looking coilover shocks. These high-end units have been tuned, tested, and valved correctly to make this lifted truck drive, handle, and soak up the bumps better than you can ever imagine. The use of a large 2 5/8 diameter piston with these stacked disc valves combined with the increased fluid volume of the huge 2 3/4 inch diameter body provides superior damping and heat dissipation. That means that these shocks will deliver a better ride than our competitors with less fade and continue to perform for a long, long time. In the event you get too excited through the big bumps or decide to catch some serious hang time, these heavy-duty bump stop extensions reposition the factory bump stops to soak up the big hits. We do need to mention there is an optional CV front drive shaft for extended high-speed four-wheel drive use. Now that we have the front covered, let's go check out the back. Things are a little less complex in the rear. New longer coil springs with spot-on spring rates nestle between the frame and axle to increase ride height, and new upper control arms position the pinion angle for smooth driveline operation. An aluminum spacer is provided for the rear drive shaft to maintain proper slip yoke engagement. Another sturdy bracket right here bolts up to the driver's side of the axle to relocate the track bar. This keeps the rear end centered and maintains proper rear axle travel. These custom lower shock mounts eliminate side loads on the shock shaft and allow the adjustable MX6 shocks to keep the rear working as well as the front. I don't know about you, but I think this ProComp 6-inch suspension system is just the muscle this FJ Cruiser needs to take it on your next off-road adventure. I'm Eric Hayden. Thanks for joining us.